Number 10, morning habits for a healthy and productive life. Hi everyone, welcome back. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to start their day with more energy, focus, and motivation? The answer isn't always a complicated morning routine. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m., spend hours at the gym, or buy expensive supplements to have a better day. Sometimes, the smallest changes in the way you start your morning can make a real difference. The first hour or two after waking up can influence your mood, energy, focus, and even how productive you feel throughout the day. And here's the good news. You don't have to create a perfect routine overnight. Today, we're going to talk about 10 simple morning habits that can help you create a healthier, calmer, and more productive lifestyle. You don't need to start all 10 at once. Pick 2 or 3, make them part of your routine, and slowly build from there. So, let's get started. Step 1. Wake up at a consistent time. Let's start with something very basic, your wake-up time. You might have heard that waking up at 5 or 6 a.m. is the secret to success, but honestly, that's not true for everyone. You don't have to wake up extremely early to have a healthy lifestyle. What's more important is having a fairly regular sleep schedule and getting enough sleep. For example, if your schedule allows you to wake up around 6:30 or 7 a.m., that's completely fine. A consistent morning can give you extra time to get ready without rushing. You can have breakfast, exercise, study, pray, plan your day, or simply enjoy a few quiet moments. But remember, one important thing. Waking up early is not useful if you're not sleeping enough. Getting 7 or more hours of sleep is generally more important than setting an extremely early alarm. So instead of asking, how early can I wake up? Ask yourself, am I getting enough quality sleep? Step 2, get out of bed and freshen up. Once your alarm goes off, try not to spend the next 30 minutes under your blanket with your phone. Get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, change your clothes, and get yourself ready for the day. It sounds simple, but these little actions help create a clear difference between sleeping time and active time. You can also open your curtains and let some natural light into your room. Fresh air and daylight can make your environment feel brighter and more refreshing. Instead of staying in bed thinking, I'll get up in 5 minutes, make the decision to get up as soon as you reasonably can. That small decision can set the tone for the rest of your morning. Number 3, make your bed. Now, here's a habit that takes almost no time. Make your bed. You might think, how can making my bed change my life? Well, it isn't about the bed itself. It's about starting the day by completing a small task. You wake up, arrange your pillows and blanket, and suddenly your room already looks a little cleaner. That gives you a small sense of achievement. And once you get used to completing small tasks, it becomes easier to move on to bigger ones. You don't need a huge achievement first thing in the morning. Sometimes, small wins create momentum. So take a minute, make your bed, and start your day with one thing already completed. Number 4, start your morning with water. The 4th habit is incredibly simple. Drink some water. You've gone several hours without drinking while sleeping, so having water when you wake up is an easy way to begin your day hydrated. You don't have to force yourself to drink a massive bottle immediately. A glass or 2 is enough for many people as a simple starting point, and then you can continue drinking throughout the day according to your thirst, activity, and needs. And if your first instinct is to grab a sugary drink, try water first. It's easy, affordable, and something your body needs every day. Just remember that water isn't a magical detox drink. It's simply an important part of staying hydrated. Number 5, give yourself a few quiet minutes. Now let's move from your physical health to your mental well-being. Before the messages, notifications, responsibilities, and noise of the day begin, give yourself a few quiet minutes. You could spend 5 or 10 minutes praying, making dua, meditating, stretching gently, practicing deep breathing, or simply sitting quietly. You don't have to completely clear your mind. Instead, slow down and pay attention to how you're feeling. You could also think of 3 things you're grateful for. If you're religious, your morning can be a beautiful time for prayer, dua, or reading something meaningful. The purpose is simple. Give your mind a peaceful beginning instead of immediately filling it with information. Even a few quiet minutes can make your morning feel much less rushed. Number 6, move your body. The 6th habit is movement. And no, you don't need to spend an hour doing an intense workout. Even 10 minutes can be a great start. You could go for a short walk, stretch, do some yoga, perform simple bodyweight exercises, or use a treadmill if you have one. The important thing is to choose something you actually enjoy. If you love walking, walk. If you enjoy stretching, stretch. If you prefer a workout, do a workout. The goal is simply to get your body moving. And remember, consistency beats intensity. Doing 10 or 15 minutes regularly is much better than doing an exhausting workout once and then giving up for the rest of the week. Start small and make it sustainable. Feed your mind. Something positive. We always talk about what we eat in the morning, but what about what we put into our minds? Think about your first 30 minutes online. If you wake up and immediately see arguments, negative news, random videos, and endless social media posts, how might that affect your mood? Instead, try giving yourself some useful content first. Read a few pages of a book, listen to an educational podcast, learn something related to your studies. Listen to something motivational, or simply choose content that makes you feel calm and inspired. This doesn't mean you can never use social media. Of course you can. The idea is simply to avoid allowing random scrolling to become the first activity of your day. What you consume mentally matters too. 8. Remind yourself of your goals. The 8th habit is something many people skip. Think about where you want to go. Take a few minutes and ask yourself, what am I working toward? What is important to me right now? What small thing can I do today to make progress? Maybe you're trying to improve your grades. Maybe you want to become healthier. Maybe you're learning a new skill. Maybe you're working on becoming more confident. Whatever your goal is, remind yourself of it. You can write it in a notebook, put it on a sticky note, or simply say it to yourself. But remember, positive thinking alone doesn't create results. The purpose of this habit is to keep your goals fresh in your mind so that your actions during the day have a clear direction. Nasher 9. Plan your day. Once you know what you're working toward, decide what actually needs to happen today. Take a notebook or use a simple notes app and write down your most important tasks. But don't make a list of 20 things. That can quickly become overwhelming. Instead, choose around 3 to 5 realistic priorities. For example, study physics for 1 hour, finish an important assignment, walk for 20 minutes, help with something at home, go to bed on time. Once you've completed a task, tick it off. That little feeling of progress can give you motivation to continue. And here's an important rule. Don't create a perfect schedule. Create a realistic one. Your goal isn't to complete everything in the world today. Your goal is to make progress on the things that actually matter. 10. Don't give your phone control over your morning. And finally, let's talk about one of the biggest morning distractions, your phone. You wake up and think, I'll just check one notification. Then you open Instagram, then TikTok, then YouTube. You watch one video, then another. And suddenly, you realize you've spent 30 minutes or even an hour scrolling. Sound familiar? Instead of letting your phone decide how your morning begins, try delaying unnecessary social media for a little while. You don't have to completely avoid your phone. If you need it for studying, work, communication, music, or something important, that's perfectly fine. The problem is mindless scrolling. So ask yourself one simple question. Am I controlling my phone, or is my phone controlling me? That question alone can make you more aware of your habits. Bonus habit. Have a nourishing breakfast. Before we finish, there's one more thing worth mentioning. Breakfast. A healthy morning can also include a nutritious meal when breakfast fits your routine and hunger. Instead of making your breakfast mostly sugary or highly processed foods, try to include a combination of nutritious foods. For example, you could have eggs, yogurt, fruit, whole grains, or other foods that provide protein, fiber, and important nutrients. But don't worry about creating the perfect breakfast every morning. Everyone has different routines, preferences, and nutritional needs. The goal is simply to choose food that helps you feel nourished and energized. Let's put it all together. So, what could a simple, healthy morning look like? You wake up around the same time each day. You get out of bed and freshen up. You make your bed. You drink some water. You spend a few quiet minutes praying, reflecting, or breathing. You move your body for around 10 minutes. You read or listen to something useful. You remind yourself of your goals. You choose your main priorities for the day. And most importantly, you avoid wasting the beginning of your day on endless scrolling. And remember, you don't have to start everything tomorrow. Choose 2 or 3 habits. Practice them consistently. Once they become natural, add another one. That's how a routine slowly turns into a lifestyle. At the end of the day, a healthy lifestyle isn't created by one perfect morning. It's created by the small decisions you repeat again and again. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't need an expensive gym membership. You don't need a complicated 20-step routine. You simply need habits that are realistic enough to maintain. So tomorrow morning, before you immediately reach for your phone, pause for a moment, drink some water, take a deep breath, move your body. Think about what matters to you and choose how you want your day to begin. Because remember, your morning doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be intentional. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who is trying to build a healthier lifestyle. And tell me in the comments, which morning habit are you going to start tomorrow? I'll see you in the next video. Take care, stay healthy, and have a beautiful day.